Welcome to another rental car rally. I'm Jeff White, and right here we have sitting a 2016 Ford Focus ST. It's not a rental car. That's the thing about it. It's actually my car. This is more like a long-term type of a test. I figured a couple months ago, back in December, I figured give myself an excuse to get a new car. Something I had been looking at since it came to the United States in 2013, when this generation was introduced, and I had been keeping an eye on it. And I can say now that I'm glad that I waited, but pretty much the platform is essentially the same. So 2-liter turbo engine, 252 horsepower, 272 pound-feet of torque. It's suggested curb weight, or what we can speculate, because if you go on Ford's website, you can't really get any sort of answer, is about 3,200 pounds. So I'm going to say we'll do low 3,000s to the mids, maybe at the most 3,500. I don't know. I should probably go drive it on a scale or something. But given that, with the power and the weight, it's a decently fast car. It's not the fastest car in the world, but it doesn't need to be, in my opinion. But what I think it is, I think it's a very well-designed, very well-built car. I think Ford kind of hit it out of the park with these STs. And now you see the new RS is out, which I think is kind of overshadowing it. So I figure this is probably best time to get one of these and to kind of do a video on it. Because when I was looking to buy one, I couldn't really find anything that, any videos that really kind of told me about the ownership experience of it. There was a lot of like review stuff, but I want to go more about, because there was a lot of questions I had. How big are the back seats? How practical is it? How fast is it? So there was a lot of questions I had to answer. And one of the things I told myself as kind of an excuse was, well, I could use it as an Uber car, which I have used it as an Uber and a Lyft car, and I'll say that it's definitely awesome with doing that, and it does it. You can fit people in the back. The back seat didn't look as roomy as I thought, but it's pretty roomy. It's not bad, especially when you put the passenger seat forward, and I'm kind of short, so people can sit behind me pretty easily. I've had a couple tall people back there. But as far as the car goes, 6-speed manual transmission, only comes in a manual, which is awesome. I know that's a big thing kind of now going on. You have this kind of fight to keep the manual around, so this car is doing it. It's got good brakes. This one has the Goodyear F1 tires on it. There's an optional Pirelli, which I might get a set just on my own with another set of wheels, kind of similar wheels, to kind of see how it compares. But that might be later, and maybe I'll do another video on that. But this one is the Focus ST with no options. So if you look at the option codes, I think it's like 400A gets you the ST package on the Focus. I didn't get the Recaros because I think those regular seats are a bit more comfortable, and I didn't get the Sony infotainment on the higher of the sync packages. I just felt, I could use my phone. I didn't really need it. Plus, I didn't want to pay the extra premium. Plus, it was hard to get one in black anyway. I had to get one dealer to go to another dealer. But anyway. I've enjoyed the car. All the time, the car puts a smile on my face. It's got this cool little induction noise, which comes from there's like a Symposer. They make it sound like it's making the sound, but really it's just taking induction noise from the intake, which is kind of cool. I mean, it sounds, I don't need an exhaust in this car, which usually I like to put exhaust on my cars. I don't need one on this. It's got little details. It's very driver focused, so the gauges are really easy to see, which I'll show. We'll go do a little bit of walk around here, but pretty much basis of the car, 2-liter turbo, 6-speed manual, 252 horsepower. It's kind of hard to beat. I like the platform of the car too, the footprint of it, the width. It's just wide enough to handle really good, and it's still small. So I don't ever feel like I'm too big. Cruises on the freeway, 30 miles per gallon, easy. I drive to LA a lot, and it gets awesome fuel mileage. Because you can just put it in 6th gear, and the cool thing about the turbo and the way it's set up is that it really doesn't use the turbo unless you really want the turbo. And I think that's important with cars in this segment, that turbo is kind of there when you need it, when you want the power. So yeah, we'll do a little walk around section here, and actually, you know what, I'll just take the camera with me. It's probably easier that way, instead of stopping it and all that crap. But so changes for 2016, the headlights. Headlights are a bit different. These have the LED daytime lights, which you can see in there. And when I look at other older ones, you can tell the headlight, the whole assembly is a bit different. So this is going to be more of like what comes on the RS. The other thing I noticed is the intake. There's a widened intake grill, which it's kind of hard to see. I don't know, maybe you can see it there. But the intake grill, the opening for the main opening is different on the 2016. When I compared it, I had this one sitting next to like a 2014, and it didn't have the that opening. You get the turn signals so it kind of gives it a little, I don't know, a little upscale touch there. Turn signal in the mirror. Those are the wheels. There's an optional wheel. I don't really like the optional wheel, so I like these better. A little snowflake kind of a wheel. It's kind of, they hide the gas door in here. It's capless, kind of cool. Badging, you know, it's got the ST badging. It's got the center mount exhaust tip, which you can kind of see down there. Trunk wise, it's a hatchback, so you know you get pretty decent room. Plus the seats fold flat, 60-40 split there. You got good room, good storage compartments under here if you can see all that. Full-size spare. It's got the tray. I don't know what you would put up there, but you can take it out. You don't have to have it in there. It's cool little, which I don't see on a lot of cars, is it got handles up here, which is nice, so I don't have to grab your paint to close the hatch. Got the little spoiler, that's a ST thing with the chimsel, which is the center high mounted stoplight. I learned that on Jay Leno's garage, so Jay Leno, thank you. Back seat wise, I got my stuff back there, but you can kind of see it's got some storage compartments. I don't know what you would put in there, but anyway, it's kind of a decent back seat. This is it's got this little, you know, ST sills to kind of make you feel special when you're getting in. When you sit in it, it says ST on the gauges. We'll see right here. Let's see. Does it do it? I think you gotta start it. Maybe not. Hold on. There we go. Well, it went away. Anyway, yeah. What it says ST in here, and
that's what when we whack off.
Joe Rogan experience there on the podcast. Sorry about that. Yeah, so here's 6-speed manual. It's got traction control that you can switch to sport. So once you press that, we'll fire it up so you can see. But if you watch, you press the traction control button, and that's your sport mode if you press it once. And then if you press and hold it for 5 seconds, going to do it. I gotta do it again. Oh yeah, I gotta turn it off and then hold it down. Hold it for 5 seconds, and electronic stability control is off, and that's like your track mode. That didn't do it. Why isn't it doing it? Screwy thing. Well, it'll come up. If you look in the owner's manual, it says that if you hold it, if you turn off everything, that's track mode only, but you know, I'm sure you could mess around with it. Gauges are really center, easy to see. You have the gauges up here, they're the added gauges. You have your oil temperature, your boost, and then the oil pressure, which is kind of nice to see the boost and when it comes on. And it's also what I do is I wait for the oil temperature to get up before I start really ripping on the car, because I want to make sure that the oil is nice and warm. You see the steering wheel, it's a flat bottom steering wheel, so it's kind of they give you a little special steering wheel. It's a very nice steering wheel to grab. What I didn't like about Fords, especially in the Mustang, is these big plastic pieces over here. You'd feel them, so I like how they covered this in leather, and so you don't feel that. It's just, I think there's just nice points, little attention to little details that it doesn't make the. Some people say this interior feels really cheap, but when you're talking about a car that's under $30,000, pretty much a price point of $25,000, I mean, what do you expect, you know? And it's got Bluetooth connectivity, connect everything. It's got the sink, it's got basic air conditioning controls down there, and then you can get the upgraded stuff, you know. The one thing I did like about the 2016 is they put a better handbrake. They don't have this boomerang crazy thing anymore, and this whole area has been changed, and better cup holders, and then you got a little center console here. But as you can see, nice, decent seats. These seats remind me of like what you would get in like a old school BMW E30 3 Series, the upgraded sports seats. Just a simple sports seat. I don't need anything too crazy, and I think these are just right. So I didn't get the Recaros. Plus, I didn't want to pay the extra money. I figured later on I could probably find some and put them in here. Push button start, and keyless entry. So when you walk up, put your hand on the door handle and it opens up. So pretty much this video, what I wanted to do was kind of, you know, show what I couldn't find when I was looking at buying one. I'll open the hood now and you can see under the hood. Because I couldn't find anything that was showing me, you know, what's the car like? What are the details about the car? Has anybody done a video and owned one, you know, or anything like that? So, but here's the, you know, it's the typical cramming everything in there kind of engine compartment. You can see the turbo down there. To do an oil change is pretty easy once you take that bottom pan off. There's a bunch of screws you got to take off that are like a Torx, like a T25 Torx. Take all those off. I've done the oil change on this. I mean, once you take all that pan off, it's pretty easy to get to everything. It's not too complicated. And you can see where's that Symposer? Is this tube, I think, right here, sends the intake noise up into the cabin, and you can hear it. And when I'll do a driving portion of the video after this, you can hear it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I don't need to go too crazy in depth on it. But yeah, you know, it's a pretty cool car. I recommend it, definitely. I say it's probably the most well-rounded car you can buy for under $30,000. That's a fun, driver-focused car. And I know you could say, well, what about the FRS and the BRZ? Well, they're not as well-rounded as this car. You can't use it for Uber. You can't, you know, it doesn't have, you have seats. You can fold them down in both of those cars, but you're not going to get the kind of space you can get in here. I put motorcycle wheels in here the other day and took them down, got the tires changed out. So I mean, and I put that in with the wheels and the tires. So I mean, you figure what you could do with this car is a bit more than what you could do with an FRS, and you got more power. You got 250 horsepower instead of that 200 measly horsepower you get in those. So I think this is a good bang for your buck car, kind of like the Z06 back in the day for the C5. It was like the best bang for your buck supercar at that point. I think this is in this price point just the same similar type of car, because once you go into the RS, you got to spend 10 grand more, and you can't even get one anyway. So just go with this one. All right, and that's it. And now we'll do a driving portion. All right, now we're gonna do the drive portion of it, and I picked a road that I think is we'll go up it and we'll come down it, and I think it's gonna be a good road to show off what the pros of this car, and it has a couple tight hairpins and stuff like that, so you get to see. Hopefully you'll get to hear the induction noise that I'm talking about. But yeah, let's go for it before we get stuck behind some traffic. I just think that this road's good for showing the handling characteristics and the braking, and then the decent power that it does have for the kind of car that it is. I mean, it's not like a out of the box track car, maybe like the RS might be, but I mean, it definitely, for a nice windy road on a Sunday afternoon, it's a great car for that. Brakes are decent. Steering, some people have complained about the steering, saying it's kind of dull, but I don't know. I think it's not too bad. It's servo assisted. There's still a manual link. It's not full electric. But you can see, I mean, I'm having fun. And it's hard, you know, when you talk about cars at this price point. Are you going to get a car that you're going to be able to have fun with, be able to push it? I'm going to come up here on a van, so we're going to have to slow it down a little bit. I had a fear we would catch up to this van, but would think he'd be able to push that thing a little harder. Yo. Damn, it's not that hard to drive. Come on. I drive on a lot of windy roads, and I'm always surprised at how bad people are at driving on these roads. It's like, you can tell they don't do them very often. Their lines are horrible. They're driving way slower than they possibly could. Just a little word to the people out there, just go and drive some windy roads every once in a while. It wouldn't hurt. Do it in the rain too. I mean, do it in the dry, get comfortable, and then go do it in the rain. Just saying. Seating wise, I mean, it's got a pretty adjustable seat. Here, we're gonna flip around here, get out from behind that van. All right, turning radius. You can see it did that. And we should have a pretty clear downhill because I didn't see any car. I didn't pass any cars coming up. Heel and towing's, it's all right. The gas pedal's kind of low in comparison to the brake pedal, so I felt like if they had it just a little bit higher, heel and towing might be a little bit easier, but I've managed to kind of figure it out. Still got work to do, but that's the whole fun with the manual, is that you're constantly working on your skills. Well, one thing that's fun about this car is when you huck it, the back end kind of wiggles. They set up the suspension kind of loose back there. Kind of gives it a rear wheel drive feel, because this is a front wheel drive only car. But I like that feeling, how it feels a little loose when it kind of rotates, which is something you don't find in a rear wheel drive car or a front wheel drive car. You don't find that rotating rear end. There's kind of winding it out a little bit and kind of hear that noise. Engine sounds pretty good in my opinion. You don't hear the turbo too much, except when you're kind of cruising in between some barriers or something. You hear kind of a little whine, but you don't hear any wastegate or anything like that. So it's not overdone. Kind of sometimes you hear on STIs, you can really hear them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, this car's fun. I recommend it. I definitely do. I think it's a good buy for somebody who's looking for a fun car under $30,000. Maybe you still have a kid, you need to put a car seat in it. It's great for stuff like that. It still gets good gas mileage. I mean, I've been driving up and down these roads all day looking for spots. I'm getting 25 miles per gallon, so, and I'm ripping on it. So yeah, that's it. And thanks for watching. Subscribe, likes, share it, you know, everything. And see you next time.